Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video in which you're going to see me talking or explaining things from my, well, not so nice notebook on and if you have seen my videos, it's probably about the publishing of comics in Egypt and how you can get published and problems in getting published. Here is probably one of the most important videos in which you need to know how to build up your own identity in a country that does not have any comic book field. So how can you let people know that you draw comics? Where is your audience? How do you build that? How do you make all of that? Well, simple. We have cons, right? Cons. You need to start from here. So how are you going to start from cons actually? How are you gonna let people know that you draw? How do you do that? Well, you don't. In Egypt, cons is based upon cosplay. Yes, cosplay. So what do? Simple. Start if you can by doing cosplay, and if you can't do cosplay, at least go to the event and talk to cosplayers and build your connections with them and go to kind of every kind of event you can related to cosplay or anime or whatsoever. Start to talk to people to let them know about you, to let them know that you're there, you're part of them, you're one of their fabric. This is where I actually started, and it took me a couple of years, let's see, since cosplay started in 2013. I have been cosplaying some really weird stuff, from weird Super Mario to a very weird covered up lightning, because it was winter and outdoors and I cannot stand cold, so I had to cover her up somewhat. I wear leggings and brown long sleeve high-collar shirt. And that day we were lucky enough that we actually had rain pouring on our heads. So that was awesome. So I made all kind of crazy cosplays. My photos have been on cosplay pages. I've gotten known somewhat as well because I sing Japanese karaoke. Now that is an extra, okay? You don't have to sing Japanese karaoke or anything. I just happen to have this interest of improving my Japanese through singing, because I'm learning it, so somehow I do that with karaoke. But basically what I want to say is, when you go to cons, because this is where your audience will be, and since the strong points of cons are cosplay, you want to cosplay. If you can't, just go there, say hello, because at times actually cons can be a lot. I remember there were 2 cons in 1 week, 2 major ones. So there was one I was able to cosplay and the other one I was not able to cosplay, so I just went there, I saw people and I said hello, because I did not finish my cosplay, so that's why. So basically you just go there, let people see that you're there, interact with them, talk to them, because cosplayers read comics. You want your audience to know that you're one of them. And for some reason, cosplayers who draw have this cool element. Even if you're an average Joe cosplayer like myself, I don't think of myself as a really good cosplayer or anything. Just I do it for fun actually, since I do drawing for the living part. Cosplay is my fun time. So just people respect whoever draws somewhat. Maybe because we are not a lot of people who cosplay and draw at the same time. And maybe somewhat because people just don't know how we end up drawing. Well, yeah. As I mentioned in my problems of publishing video, our education system does not support anything related to art or creative teaching, in terms that they don't care about if you draw or not, or anything artsy in general. I guess people somehow end up wondering how you end up growing up in such a weird education system into someone who can actually draw. Well, we're just a really small society in general, that especially the people who follow on the Japanese school or inspired by the Japanese art, we're not that much. So mostly we go to cons and people know us because we just go there and we show our face. This is one way you can actually do that. But this is not the only way, and it's not just the right way as well. This is kind of half the right way. What is the other half right way? You have some comic events. Yes, they are there. They're not a lot, but they're there. Okay, so comic events and in terms of events, they're not really major events except for one, which is called Cairo Comics. It's actually started in 2015, in October 2015, and it's supposed to be an annual event. They kind of do like this comic book contest in which you can submit your comics, whether it is something new or old or whatsoever. And a lot of artists actually participated in this, and as I mentioned, we are not that super much, but we are still somewhat limited, but it's still a very nice place to be in, and you're gonna see all artists there. You're gonna find all of the comics that you can't find usually in the market, because there's like it's an artist alley actually. It's a very nice artist alley with all kinds of comics and artists and workshops you can find there just for the comic artists. There are also workshops. You may want to try to participate in these workshops because you're going to meet more artists, more younger, older artists. We're actually our age generation, at least my age generation, is something between the age of 13 to 30. So this is the artist range, I guess. We are not old enough to have senior artists or so. We have like a few, but most of them have worked on kids comics, not comics for adults like the ones for teens and adults. I respect everyone, but they're like in another world and we are in another world. Like everyone is in their own kind of artistic bubble type thing. So at least you wanna, if you're in this age range, you probably wanna go to these workshops in which you're going to meet all of these artists. They're very talented artists, and you want to talk to them, interact with them, show them your portfolio. They're gonna give you tips and tricks on how you can actually improve your skills, because art courses are very expensive online, and there is no decent art courses as well and that you can take in Egypt. So these ones, these good artists, the ones that you see their portfolio and go, oh my god, these are awesome. You want to hear their advices, you want to go to their workshops, see if they give lectures, go to them, meet them, be friends with them, and thus you like this create an identity between your audience, which are probably the cosplayers, the people who go to cons, and the artists, which is your community. So you want to include these two in your big bubble of letting people know that you draw comics / manga. Now I did something a little bit extra in my case, which got more people to know me. Photography of cosplayers. Since cosplay got really popular in 2015, and the first half of 2015, there wasn't really a lot of people who knew about cosplay. So what I did was actually pick up my new DSLR and went and took pictures for cosplayers in all kinds of events. So I did make a big library of photos for cosplay. So people got to know me with, oh, Sarah the cosplayer who photographed people, and my newest edition, well, I just don't photograph, I also draw. See, I draw as well. So I came to let people know who I am through very unconventional means, whether it's photography, cosplay, being interactive with artists. It did take a while. I'm not gonna say it took like a couple of days. It took actually maybe a couple of years. It was one of the times where I actually focused more on building my social skills more than my YouTube videos. I focused on that. I should have focused on more YouTube videos, because if you are doing YouTube videos, then people are probably gonna log in and check your work, and they're probably gonna recommend you more. Thus, this way you can actually monetize your YouTube videos, and you can also build up your identity even more, because you're given drawing courses. Now your comic is for free. If you've seen my where to publish video, you've probably seen the places where you can publish your work. But if you do drawing tutorials, that is even more better, because from the problem we have in publishing is that in the education part I talked that no one really cares about the creative education. So if you can't provide that, you're gonna be so freakishly cool to a lot of new kids who want to do drawing or who wants to learn drawing but don't have the money to afford or take courses or anything of that sort. So if you can't do this, this is actually gonna build your identity even more. You can try to do whatever you can. Tutorials, cosplay, go to these meetings, meet people, talk to them. This is how you're gonna get to be known. You have to try and interact with your audience, know them first, and at least in the case of no market case, because there is know the people, let them know that you're here, and then introduce to them the fact that you draw art. When you do that, you're gonna have a lot of support from them, because you have become their friend, you have become someone they care about, that you have become someone they talk to, so you have their support. Thus, you have made an identity. Once you have support from people, you know that you have succeeded in creating a really awesome identity in this field, which is growing. It's gonna take some time, but it's growing. This is the end of this video. I hope that you found this to be interesting, and I will see you in another video. So see you later.